For the latest film interviews, reviews, and everything making news in pop culture, subscribe to Film Companion now.
I take my t-shirt off, I get about 10,000 more followers. That's great. Love it. Bring it on. Because 10,000 more followers, some brand will come and say, hey, here's the money. I need the money. Bring it on. So it's all sort of correlated. I'm enjoying it. It's great. You gotta stay alive. You gotta survive. You know, it's a big, dirty sea world out there. And if you're not a smart shark, you get eaten up. I was knocking on doors and saying, hey, give me work. I am capable. Just see me differently. Don't look at me as this sweet romantic hero, which you've always seen me as. Look at me differently.
Hi, Dino. Welcome to Spill the Tea. We were to be doing this in person, and I was really, really looking forward to it. We were supposed to be working out on Carter Road, but I had to do it this week because you had a really, really exciting week. So I'm going to settle for Zoom. In 1 week, you've had The Empire out on Hotstar, and you had a new turn as producer with The Helmet this Friday. What is your mind space right now? Which of your two babies is vying for more of your attention?
Well, these are both my babies, and both of them are equally vying for my attention, and I intend to give both of them equal attention because they're both my babies. But having said that, it's to say when it rains, it pours, and that's exactly what's happening, pun intended, literally, too, because otherwise we would have been on Carter Road working out and doing this interview. But last Friday was The Empire. This Friday is Helmet. One as an actor, one as a producer. I've been waiting for an opportunity like this for a really long time. And I somewhere I do believe, the universe conspires to give you what you really want, and when you want it so badly. So it's all coming together well. I'm really excited.
Do you have like a Google alert set for your name? It must be blowing up right now. Like, do you find yourself checking a lot?
I honestly am. I mean, it's like when I had my first film release. Unfortunately, we didn't have social media at that point, but we were, looking at all the newspaper cuttings, and I have files of newspaper cuttings of what went on. So it feels a little bit like that, but now it's more instantaneous because of social media, and the feedback is just off the charts, and I kind of love it. It's great. I haven't had this feeling for a really long time. So I'm trying to enjoy every second, every moment of everyone saying, hey, what have you done? Insane, amazing, sexy, villain, but I love you. You kill, but I still love you. And the kind of reactions, it's good. It's great. I mean, I'm short of words sometimes to explain how I'm feeling.
And when The Empire released on Hotstar, the stats I got showed that nearly 3.5 million people in just India had already watched the show. And at the same time, it was uninstall Hotstar, which was the top trend in the country. And I know you'd seen some share of this storm during Tandav as well, but you weren't at the center of it then. How did you process it now, or how are you processing it?
That I know this is coming from people who haven't watched the show.
Correct.
Because if you watch the show, firstly, we're telling everybody in all the interviews that it's based on a book. And the book by itself has a lot of fiction in it. Yeah. It's not somebody's biopic. It's not the biopic of Baba, the emperor, the Badshah. It's not his biopic. It's a story. You're talking about how a person gets his throne, how a king has to maintain and reach his throne. Right? There's the politics involved, the family involved, the deceit, the betrayal. That's the saga we're telling. We're not glorifying anybody. And that's the impression a lot of people who were on this uninstall Hotstar. But if you look at the numbers, quite honestly, of how many uninstall, I mean, firstly, I think it's silly. I really think it's silly. I mean, there's so many other things happening. Why are you even making this a big deal? Watch the show. Maybe watch the show and then make a decision, right? Don't not watch the show. And then, I mean, I was reading some of the reviews of people who are just saying, oh, you're glorifying Mughals, uninstall, or you're glorifying Mughals, terrible show. But you've not even seen the show. Watch it. understand what it is, and then form your opinion. Then I'll be okay with it. But don't form an opinion without even knowing what you're complaining about. I try my best to detach from this. I don't let it really bother me. And from what we've seen from the positive feedback that we've been getting, that's far more overwhelming than the crazy stories that are going on.
So turn off Google alerts to start with.
No, I keep that on. I want to know everything that's going on. I don't want to turn on my Google alerts. I just want to know everything, good or bad. I just want to know. I want to be aware. What I decide to do with what I'm aware of is something different. But I just need to be aware of who's saying what, when. And I remember, people know this. I have an elephant's memory. I remember your name. I remember who you are. I find out where you came from. I know everything. I am Shaybani Khan. Don't forget that.
Really, the responses have been amazing, and especially for your performance. I want to talk to you a little bit about, have you figured out what it takes to be really good at being really bad on screen?
You just gotta. I think I know what it takes. It's just introducing a certain kind of madness, and the beauty about being bad is there's no limitations as to what you can do, right? There's no restrictions. When you're bad, you can do the craziest of things and people will think, oh, he's crazy, right? He's bad. So there's no limitations as to what you can do. When you're playing a positive character, there are limitations. You got these barriers to work within.
Yeah.
And that's the good part. So when I was given this antagonist role, I was like, okay, this is something I want to go just crazy with. I want to laugh when I want to laugh. I want to dance when I want to dance. I clap my hands when I want to clap my hands. There's no rules. I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. And I think I just went with that comfort. And besides that, I really worked on my character. I mean, I knew how I wanted Shaybani Khan to be. I knew how he needed to walk. I knew how he needed to talk. I knew how he had to command the attention, and not only from the people around him, from the audience, and keep that attention on him, keep that gaze on him, keep looking, savagely sexy at the same time, be savage. You see, I worked on the character, and I think it's really paying off. To be a mad character, you just need to work on this person, and try not to be influenced by too many other characters, but just be as mad as possible. Yeah. And I thought of the most insane things. I mean, we did so many takes and retakes. At times I was going insane. Wow. And then at times I think I had to be reined in a bit. But it's all come together really well. Yeah.
It really has. And I know you said not to fall prey to comparisons, but I know there's been talk of how Ranveer did a similar turn with Alauddin Khilji. And I know that he talked about eating a lot of red meat when he prepared for the role, because that kind of like really got him into the space. What was prep for you like?
Okay. So ever since I've been taking this long break to sort of stay away from mediocre stuff that was coming my way, I worked on myself. I really worked on myself. I worked on my language. I worked on me as an actor. There are these few exercises which I really believe in. One is whichever character I take up, I try to associate an animal with it, right? Because I feel there, I mean, any animal, there are certain instincts about the animal that if you imbibe and use them in your character, it could bring out some magic. And for Shaybani Khan, Mitaksha and me decided that the person is a Black Panther, right? Because there's an agility, there's a savageness, there's a brutalness, but you still just want to watch it. And when it passes, you don't know if it's going to pass you or attack you. There's a cunningness to it. There's a certain growl in the voice. There's a prowl, which is beautiful. I watched YouTube videos. I watched National Geography. And I watched this animal for quite a bit. And when I read the script many times to just understand also the psyche of the character, the psyche of other people, the world we're in. And I went through all my scenes. And before each scene, another exercise I did was I created a playlist of music. I have a huge collection of music. And for every scene, depending on the energy needed in that scene, or the madness needed in the scene, or the calmness needed in the scene, I'd have a certain track which I'd listen to. And I knew my lines. My lines were all that was done, right? So when I went on the set, it was just me listening to that music, getting into the mood.
It feels like quite the trance almost. Is the Black Panther still in there somewhere? Like, are there remnants?
Well, there, there is a hangover. There's always a hangover after you finish shooting because you live with it for a bit. But then I'm an actor. I switch on and I switch off because now I got to move on to the next, whatever the next is, right? I can't come home and be that Black Panther. Yes, some people might like it, but so, but you got to switch off. Sorry, we got to. Yes, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want? Yes, my friend. Yeah, he wants his attention, his share of attention. Okay. I'm doing an interview. He's my little Black Panther. Yeah, okay, I'm doing an interview. Don't disturb me. All right. So stop it. He just wants attention. Just look at it. Just look at it. Can you imagine just look at this.
What's his name?
This is attention. Ganpat. Ganpat, can I do my interview, please? Okay, I love you. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, go now. Could you go? All right.
You said you're an actor, but you're also a producer now. And I just chatted with your lead hero, Apar Shakti, who told me this really inspiring story about how his producer was a complete, sight for sore eyes, hunk of a man, Dino Morea, standing in the blazing heat in UP on his 2 feet throughout, ensuring that everyone on set is utterly well taken care of. Where did you find this in your body?
Well, I enjoy production too. I'm a nice guy, you see. As a producer, I need to make sure that my entire team is well taken care of. I am an actor also, so when I'm on somebody else's set, I truly and always wish that my producers take good care of me, and most of my producers have, right? And so I reciprocate those feelings. When I'm a producer, your actors are key to you, because if they're not comfortable, if they're not happy, you will not see that translate off the screen. I know that for a fact. I became a producer because I wanted to be connected to the film industry when I started saying no to all the rubbish that was coming my way. And my first film, which I produced, was Jism 2. And that was in 2012. So that was the time I sort of consciously started saying no to all the small, mediocre, really terrible roles that were coming by me. And this was even 15 years after, after 15 films, doing 15 films. And then after Jism 2 released, I really wanted to act. That was what I really wanted to do. It was my love. I honestly thought that, damn, I could have pulled off one of the roles in Jism 2 too, right? Either Arun or Randeep's, but being a producer for the first time, I knew I had to be hands-on and not be disturbed by the fact that I can act also here. Then I went to Delhi. I did this. I said, I've never been to an acting school, and let's see what it's like. I went to Delhi. I moved there for a couple of months, worked with a person by the name of N.K. Sharma, who was at that time well known.
Yeah.
And
this is after you've done 15 films.
Yeah. And I was just with a bunch of 15 other people in this class who were from all over India. And at times I thought to myself, what am I doing? And then I said, what, this is what you got to do. Basically, he's stripping you down, unlearning, and then you're learning. There were certain things I took and certain things I didn't need to take, right, from that class. But I just wanted to understand for myself what goes on in an acting class. Mm-hmm. And it was good. It was just sort of it was a very humbling experience for me, to be honest. Very humbling experience, because you're with just new people who are kind of looking up to you, and then your teacher's coming and they're whacking on their head and like, yekar, wokar. And I go, oh gosh, I'm a star. Not really anymore. Humbling. It's really humbling. And then I came back to Mumbai, and I started meeting directors and producers and saying, hey, I want to act. I'm still here. But nothing really came of it. And I just kept working on myself and kept being prepared in the eventuality that something good would come my way. And it started with OTT. And I feel Hostages 2 and Tandav was sort of the warm-up to the Empire.
But you've been around nearly 2 decades. That is a really long time. There have been some memorable films, some not so memorable films. But like you mentioned, you've kind of hit a sweet spot in the last 2 years with Hostages, Tandav, Empire. What is it that you feel you're doing differently?
It's not me doing anything differently. I feel people are looking at me differently. And I keep saying this. I'm so grateful to Mitaksha and to Nikhil for firstly seeing me this way, seeing me as a new idea, seeing me as a new concept. It takes guts, firstly, for someone to come and see me this way. Not many people. I mean, I was knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, give me work. I am capable. Just see me differently. Don't look at me as this sweet romantic hero, which you've always seen me as. Look at me differently." And this is what they did. They looked at me differently. And I think that's what works. So it's not about me doing anything. I'm always prepared, and I'm even more prepared now as an actor, right? And I feel through the last 20 years of living and being in this industry, there are experiences which help in your acting. And I feel far more life experiences make anyone a better actor. So I think that's what it is. And it's just plain and simple, people seeing me differently, people casting me differently, right? And now that this new idea, and people are waking up to this new idea and this new concept, and the feedback I'm getting from the industry itself is huge. That, "Oh, we didn't see you this way." Open your eyes, think, get creative. That's the whole point. That's why we have this beautiful space of OTT. We want to raise the bar. We want everyone to get more creative. Otherwise, what are we going to live with? 10 actors in every film?
What are you enjoying most between the knocking on doors to the phone ringing with the constant feedback? Like, what's that journey been like for you?
What do you think I'm enjoying more? I'm obviously enjoying the, "Hey, how are you? Haven't seen you in a long time. Yes, now look at me properly." You see? So I'm enjoying people, I'm appreciating the feedback. See, the knocking on doors and going to directors and producers and saying, "I want work." I'm an actor. That's my job. Irrespective of how high I am in the industry or how low I am in the industry, that's my job. If I want to work with certain directors and producers, I need to reach out to them and tell them, "I want to work with you."
We hear of actors considering doing an audition a big deal. So I'm not so sure about the knocking on doors being considered a part of your job.
Well, I do auditions too. I've been rejected from auditions. I've been rejected. I mean, after doing this many films and giving 3 really successful movies. This is after all that. So my life's been a bit of a roller coaster. I've had the highs, I've had the lows.
But how does one deal with that rejection? Because you did come from being a supermodel to being an actor, so stardom wasn't new to you.
Yeah, I mean, initially rejection was a bit tough. I won't lie. But you learn to live with it. You learn to accept it and understand that maybe there are better things for you, or maybe there are better roles for you. Also, sometimes, there's this whole insecurity which sets in, that out of sight, out of mind, right? And it came in a lot with me when I was not getting any roles. I was like, "Oh my God, should I just do anything just to be seen, just to know, just to make people realize that I'm still here?" And with the rubbish roles that were coming my way, I was like, "Should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it?" But I feel the persistence of saying no has paid off, and I keep saying this in all my interviews. I like the sound of this, that all the red lights have suddenly started turning green. You see? So it's just believing in yourself, having a little faith in yourself, and knowing that if you're working hard and you're prepared, somebody will come to you with something, but you got to be prepared. Because if you're not prepared at that point, then you're losing a great opportunity. So a great opportunity came my way and I was prepared. And I think that shows with Shaybani Khan and the Empire. And that's why the feedback. So it's tough in that moment when you're not getting anything. It's tough. But we're all smart, intelligent human beings. We know how to survive, and that's our life, right? And if we don't use our survival skills and make it in this world, then we're not going to get anywhere. So you just got to survive. You just got to beat this, be strong, be fit, work out. I tell people, work out, play a sport. Why? Not because of your body, but here, it helps you here.
Wow. Well, you brought up workout, and I really feel that a big factor that's contributed to people seeing you differently is just how you've been using your social media, really playing to the galleries with the fitness videos, and for the lack of a more refined word, the bloody hot selfies. Are you having fun with this?
I am. I mean, if nobody else is going to market me, I got to market myself. I got to blow my own trumpet. I got to say, hey, yeah. I mean, I take my t-shirt off, I get about 10,000 more followers. That's great. Love it. Bring it on. Because 10,000 more followers, some brand will come and say, hey, here's the money. I need the money. Bring it on. So it's all sort of correlated. I'm enjoying it. It's great. You gotta stay alive. You gotta survive. It's a big, dirty sea world out there. And if you're not a smart shark, you get eaten up.
Is there anything about navigating Bollywood that you wish someone had told you 10 years ago?
Well, honestly, we were not so informed when I started. I mean, I knew nobody from the industry. And at many a time I was ill-advised. I don't want to name names, but I was ill-advised on what films to choose and why to choose them. And I was choosing films at that time for different reasons, more than actually the story of the film. So there were certain times I was ill-advised, and that sort of brought my stocks down a bit. And they kept saying, do more movies, just do movies, just do movies. But I mean, I'm not the kind of to just go and keep doing movies. But some of the movies that I chose really brought my stocks down really low. And insecurity also at that time made me choose movies that I didn't necessarily want to do or needed to do. So I was kind of digging my own grave. That's when I made that conscious decision to just say no. So if I had to do things correctly, I'll be doing them right now, because I feel this is sort of a second innings and I'm going to tread really carefully. But I learned from those experiences. I don't regret them. I learned from those experiences. And if I had to change something, go back and change something, it was just some of the advice that I got at that time, because there wasn't so much information available for me at that point. Today, I mean, most of the youngsters they have information at their fingertips. They know what they want, how they're going to get it. They have access to speak to so many people. So it's great at this moment right now for all the young talent coming in, because they can access that information and they can know what to choose, how to choose, who to work with, right? Yeah. And the opportunity is far more at the moment, because there's movies, there's OTT, there's television, there's so much more to do.
Yeah. You've seen superstardom as a supermodel when you were so young, but I'm curious to know, does it taste different when it comes later in life? Do you savor it more?
Right now, I want to savor every moment. The kind of feedback I'm getting, the adulation I'm getting for playing this role in this humongous epic show. I want to enjoy every second of it. I don't want to skip any moment. I don't want to skip a day. I want this to be as slow as possible, because it feels good. And what feels even better is, people who have gone and asked for work are calling me and saying, hey, that's great. That's nice. We're seeing you a new way. I need for the industry to wake up and see me. And I think that's what's happening with this, because ultimately I want to act. Ultimately, I want to do really well as an actor and as a producer. And I think this sort of sets it up for me really well. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Also when you work really hard and people like what you've done, it feels good. It really feels good.
I'm sure it does, and you look great as well. So thank you so much for entertaining us Friday after Friday. This really is a back-to-back sprint for you.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a good one, and I can tell that you're really enjoying it. Thank you so much for chatting with me. It was nice to have such an honest and refreshing conversation.
Thank you, Sneha. Truly appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And hope to speak again soon.
In person, out of Zoom boxes.
Absolutely. I like that better. All right. Hi, everybody. This is Dino Morea, aka Shaybani Khan. You better like this video and you better subscribe to Film Companion.